Think about the last time someone hurt you. Not a stranger, someone close, someone you trusted, someone you helped, someone you defended in front of others. And then one day, without warning, they turned. Maybe they used what you told them. Maybe they sided with the people you warned them about. Maybe they just disappeared the moment they got what they wanted from you. You sat there confused. You replayed every conversation. You looked for the moment things changed. But here is the truth nobody told you. Nothing changed. They were always like this. You just believed something else. Most people lose because they trust the wrong people. Not because they are weak, not because they are stupid, because they trust by default. They give people access to their thoughts, their plans, their emotions, their resources, before those people have proven anything. And then they wonder why they keep getting burned. Why every friend turns into a story. Why every closeness ends in distance. Trust is not a feeling. Trust is data. And most people give it away without collecting any. 500 years ago, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli watched this game play out at the highest level. He lived in Italy, where leaders smiled at each other in public and poisoned each other in private, where today's ally was tomorrow's enemy, where one wrong friendship could end your career, your name, even your life. He did not survive that world by being kind. He survived it by being awake. And what he learned, he wrote down. Not to make people cruel, that is what scared people say when they cannot handle the truth. He wrote down how power actually works, how people actually behave when something they want is on the line, how the smart ones move while the rest are still hoping for fairness. In the next few minutes, I am going to break down 7 power moves Machiavelli understood about people. Moves that protect you, moves that put you back in control, moves that turn you from someone who gets used into someone who cannot be touched. These are not tricks, these are rules, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them. If you are ready, drop this in the comments right now. I see the game. Number 1. Trust is earned in silence, not in words. People will tell you anything. They will swear loyalty over dinner. They will promise the world over coffee. They will say all the right things at all the right moments. And most people believe them. Because most people listen to words. Machiavelli did not. He listened to actions. And more importantly, he listened to silence. Here is the rule. People show you who they are when you are not useful to them, when you have nothing to give, when you are quiet, when you are going through something hard, when there is no audience watching. That is the test. That is the only test that matters. Anyone can be loyal when things are easy. Anyone can be kind when they want something. Anyone can stay close when you are winning. The real question is who shows up when you stop being valuable to them. Most people fail this test fast. They get distant. They get busy. They stop replying with the same energy. They drift, slowly, quietly, in a way you cannot accuse them of. And by the time you notice, they are already gone in every way that matters. This is information, free information, and most people throw it away because they are too busy hoping it is not true. Stop measuring people by their best moments. Anyone can perform during good times. Measure them by their boring moments. The random Tuesday when you needed nothing from them. The week you were not online. The month you were quiet. Did they reach out? Did they check in? Did they remember? If they only show up when they need something, that is not a relationship. That is a transaction with nice packaging. Machiavelli understood that loyalty is not what people say. It is what people do when nobody is forcing them to do anything. Watch that. Trust that. And stop letting words convince you of things actions are already disagreeing with. Number 2. Use what people give you. They are already doing it to you. This one will sound cold. Stay with it. Every person you meet is using you in some way. Not always badly, not always with bad intent, but everyone is taking something: energy, attention, time, information, validation, connection, comfort. The question is not whether people are using you. They are. The question is whether you are aware of it and whether you are using the situation back. Machiavelli watched something simple. The people who got played the most were the ones who pretended this game did not exist. They wanted to believe relationships were pure, that every kindness was free, that every favor came with no expectation. So they gave and gave and gave, while the people around them were quietly keeping score the entire time. Using someone is not the same as harming them. You can use a connection to learn. You can use a conversation to understand. You can use someone's behavior to see who they really are. You can use what people freely show you to make better decisions about how close to let them get. This is not manipulation. This is awareness. The naive person hears something useful and forgets it. The aware person hears something useful and stores it. Not to attack, not to weaponize, just to know. Because knowing is protection. Knowing is options. Knowing is the difference between being surprised by people and being prepared for them. When someone tells you who they are, through their words, their actions, their reactions, their patterns, use it. Adjust your distance. Adjust your trust. Adjust how much of yourself you give next time. That is not being cold. That is being responsible with your own life. The people who refuse to play this game do not stop the game. They just lose it without knowing they were playing. And the worst part is, they call their loss a personality trait. They say things like, "I just trust people," or "I always see the good," and then they keep getting hurt by the same kind of person over and over for years. Machiavelli would say this: awareness is not betrayal of your values, it is protection of them. Number 3. Lose nothing by giving nothing away too early. Most people lose information they did not need to give. They tell their plans before the plans are ready. They share their goals before the goals are real. They explain their feelings to people who are still being evaluated. They hand over their pain to mouths that are not safe. And then they wonder why their plans fall apart, why someone seemed to know exactly how to hurt them, why a competitor was always one step ahead, why their own words came back to them later in a twisted version they never said. The answer is simple. You gave it away. Free. Machiavelli understood something that most people resist. Sharing is not always connection. Sometimes sharing is leaking. There is a difference between people who deserve your truth and people who just happen to be near you. Most people do not separate these two. They share everything with everyone in their general orbit and then act surprised when their information starts walking around without them. Here is the rule. Information has a season. There is a time to share something, and there is a time to hold it. Telling someone your plan before it is ready does not make them part of it. It makes them a witness to its weakness. Telling someone your goal before you have started does not create accountability. It creates an audience that can watch you fail and remember it. Hold things longer, not forever, not in some paranoid way, just longer than feels comfortable. Let your moves speak after they have already happened. Let your changes show up as results, not as announcements. Drop this in the comments. I move quietly. People will respect what they see more than what they were told, and the less they know about your process, the harder it is for anyone to interfere with it. Privacy is not secrecy. Privacy is strategy. And in a world where everyone is performing their life out loud, the person who keeps things to themselves becomes genuinely difficult to predict. You cannot lose what you never gave away. Remember that. Number 4. Do not test loyalty. Watch it. People love to test loyalty. They drop hints. They create small tests. They tell a friend a fake secret to see if it spreads. They pretend to be in trouble to see who shows up. They manufacture little situations to find out who they can trust. Machiavelli would call this lazy and expensive. Here is why. Tests can be passed by people who are still dangerous. A smart manipulator passes loyalty tests easily because they understand exactly what you are looking for. They hold the secret. They show up when you fake the trouble. They say all the right things in the obvious moment. And then, in the real moment, the moment you did not design, the moment they did not know was a test, they show you exactly who they are. Stop testing. Start watching. Watch how someone talks about other people when those people are not around, because that is how they will eventually talk about you. Watch how someone reacts when something good happens to you. The pause before the congratulations, the slight shift in tone, the way they change the subject to themselves a little too fast. Watch how someone handles your boundaries. The ones who respect them without explanation are different from the ones who push back, who joke about them, who pretend not to remember them. Watch how someone handles your absence. When you go quiet, when you are unavailable, when you are busy with your own life. Do they get cold? Do they get frustrated? Do they punish you in small ways for not being on demand? That tells you what they actually wanted from you. They wanted access, not connection. None of this requires a test. All of it is happening in front of you every single day. You just have to stop ignoring it. Most people ignore the warnings because they are afraid of what they will have to do once they accept them. Once you see clearly that someone is not who you wanted them to be, you have a choice. Stay and pay the price, or leave and pay a different one. Most people choose to stay confused because confusion feels cheaper than action. It is not. It is just slower pain. Number 5. Make people work to know you. In a world where everyone is shouting about themselves, the quiet person becomes a mystery. And mysteries pull attention. Machiavelli understood something about value. Things that are easy to access are rarely valued. Things that are easy to read are rarely respected. People do not protect what they did not work to understand. If you tell everyone everything about yourself in the first hour, they have nothing to discover. You become a known book, and known books get put down. This is not about playing games. This is about respecting your own depth. You are not a public document. You are not required to explain every part of yourself to every person who shows mild interest. You can be open without being available. You can be warm without being transparent. You can be present without being predictable. Hold some things back, not as a trick, as a practice. Some thoughts are not for the room you are in. Some feelings are not for the people who casually ask. Some plans are for you, and 1 or 2 people who have earned the access. The rest of the world gets the surface, and the surface is enough for most situations. When you stop offering yourself fully to everyone, something interesting happens. People start paying closer attention, not because you became dramatic, because you became uncertain. They cannot fully calculate you. They cannot predict your next move. They cannot place you in a neat box. And the human mind cannot stop looking at things it cannot place. This is the position Machiavelli wanted you in. Not loud, not flashy, not constantly performing your personality for approval, just slightly out of reach, slightly hard to read, slightly impossible to fully own. Drop this in the comments. I keep my depth private. The people who deserve more will earn it slowly. The people who do not will move on. Both outcomes are good for you. Number 6. Cut quietly. Do not announce the goodbye. When you decide someone is no longer good for you, do not announce it. Do not write the long message. Do not have the dramatic conversation. Do not perform the goodbye for an audience. Just leave. Machiavelli understood that announcements give power back to the person you are leaving. The moment you sit down to explain why you are done, you give them 3 things they did not earn: your time, your emotion, and one last chance to argue with your decision. They will argue. They will turn it around on you. They will say you misunderstood, that you are overreacting, that you are being unfair. They will twist the conversation until you are the one defending yourself. And by the end, you will leave the conversation more confused than when you started. That is not a coincidence. That is the design. The clean exit is silent. You stop replying with the same energy. You stop showing up where you used to. You stop offering the access you used to offer freely. No big speech, no dramatic ending. Just less of you, slowly, until there is none. This will feel wrong because you were taught that closure is something you owe people. You were taught that not explaining is rude, that walking away without a fight is cold. But here is the truth. Closure is not given. Closure is taken. You give it to yourself by accepting what you saw, what you felt, what you learned, and choosing not to keep paying for it. Some people do not deserve a goodbye. They deserve absence, the kind that does not explain itself, the kind that is not interested in their version of what happened, the kind that simply ends. This is not coldness. This is self-respect with no audience. The strongest exits are the ones nobody saw coming because there was nothing to perform. You just stopped feeding it. And things that are not fed eventually starve. Lose nothing means this too. Do not lose your peace by trying to make people understand why you are leaving. They already know. They just hoped you would not. Number 7. Become someone who does not need anyone, then choose people anyway. This is the move that changes everything. Most people enter relationships from need. They need company. They need validation. They need someone to fill the silence. They need someone to make them feel okay about themselves. And from that need, they accept things they should not accept. They tolerate behavior they should not tolerate. They stay in places they should have left long ago. Need makes you cheap. Choice makes you expensive. Machiavelli understood that the most powerful position you can be in is the one where you do not need the relationship, the deal, the friendship, the conversation. You can leave at any moment. You can say no without panic. You can walk away without falling apart. From that place, every yes you give is real. Every connection you keep is chosen. Every person in your life is there because you decided they should be, not because you were too afraid to be alone. This is not about becoming hard. It is about becoming whole. The person who is okay alone is the person nobody can manipulate with the threat of leaving. The person who can sit with their own thoughts without needing distraction is the person who cannot be controlled with noise. The person who has built a life that works without anyone's approval is the person whose approval suddenly means more to everyone else. Self-sufficiency is the quiet power move that changes every relationship you have. Once you do not need people, people start needing you back. Not because you became cold, because you became real. The desperation lifted. The performance stopped. What is left is just you, calm, settled, choosing. And from that place, you trust no one by default, because trust is earned. You use everyone in the small, healthy way of learning from them, observing them, growing through them. And you lose nothing, because you never gave anything away that you were not ready to give. This is the final move, the one that holds the other 6 in place. Without this, the rest are just techniques. With this, they become a way of living. Everything in this video comes back to one truth. You do not become powerful by chasing power. You become powerful by stopping the small leaks. The leaks of trust given too early. The leaks of information shared too freely. The leaks of energy spent on people who were never going to value it. The leaks of time given to relationships that were already over. Plug the leaks. That is the whole game. You do not need to become cold. You do not need to become bitter. You do not need to lose the parts of yourself that make you good. You just need to put those parts behind a door that not everyone can open. You decide who walks in. You decide who stays. You decide how long. And anyone who does not respect those decisions, you remove quietly, completely, without explanation. Trust no one until they earn it. Use everyone for the lesson they are teaching you, even when they do not know they are teaching it. Lose nothing because you stopped giving things away to people who were never planning to give anything back. Like this video so the algorithm sends it to people still trapped in the loop. Share it with someone who keeps trusting the wrong people. Subscribe because the next videos go deeper into the moves nobody teaches you out loud. And tell me in the comments which of the 7 hit hardest for you. Remember, you do not win by being louder. You do not win by being meaner. You win by being harder to fool, harder to read, and harder to lose. Stay sharp, stay aware, and stop giving the world a version of you that the world has not earned.